Anime and manga are like modern fairy tales and fables. Sure, they are serialized forms of mass-produced entertainment that want to suck every penny out of your pocket. But still, at the core of most of them, there is lifelong lessons waiting to be learned. Just like fairy tales and fables of all times, there is a moral lesson in them. Sure, not all anime and manga have moral lessons, but the ones that do and get the point across can really impact the way you look at the world. There is only a handful of anime that truly made an impact on me, and one of them is definitely Dragon Ball. Which, since you're watching this video, I'm just going to assume you are probably already familiar with it. If you're not, I don't know why you will be watching this video. Dragon Ball is an anime that shaped my childhood and that showed me so many life lessons. But I definitely did not expect to learn anything from Gohan, because frankly he wasn't even close to being a favorite character of mine. That list was occupied by Goku, Trunks, and then in a very distant third place, Piccolo. I hated the development of Goku for feeding his match against Cell and picking Gohan as the next fighter. I just didn't like it. I still kind of don't like it, if I'm being honest, so let this be a testament of how powerful Gohan Super Saiyan 2 transformation was for me. But before talking about the actual transformation and what it meant, let's take a quick look at Gohan's personality and background. Just like Piccolo said to Goku, Gohan isn't a fighter. Again and again, Gohan fought only when completely necessary to protect his loved ones. Basically, Gohan is a pacifist, one that will rather solve everything without the use of violence. Too bad this is the Dragon Ball universe, and similarly to our own world, the use of violence is a constant occurrence. So now that I stated the obvious, let's move on to the transformation scene in question. First, let's focus on the build-up and the reaction of every character to the transformation. The inner struggle Gohan had up to that point was that he didn't want to fight, that he didn't want to kill anyone. Cell attempts to make Gohan angry by hurting him, a method that didn't work, so Cell turned to Gohan's friends, creating the Cell Juniors. The Cell Juniors start attacking everyone and Gohan is desperate. The struggle is real, and then number 16 gives his speech about fighting for a good cause, and then Cell destroys him. Similar to Goku's catalyst for his Super Saiyan transformation being Krillin's death, number 16's death was Gohan's. And I could praise the cinematography of both Toriyama's and Toei's directions. Both versions of the transformation are spectacular, but I won't. Let's just say that the scene was very pretty to look at in both the anime and the manga. Akira Toriyama is a master of combining fights with the storytelling, and here he shows his excellent paneling skills, because even though these panels don't have any words in them, it's almost as if you could feel what every character was thinking. The first reaction Toriyama shows us is Cell's, which shows us that he is very surprised about Gohan's transformation. Then we are shown Vegeta's reaction, and in the first reaction panel, you can see he is shocked, while the second reaction is more of disbelief. Disbelief and frustration of being defeated yet again. Then we have a very astonished Trunks, perhaps happy of seeing his old master becoming stronger than ever, closer to fulfilling his goal of restoring peace to Earth. That is followed by Piccolo's shock. Maybe he really thought Gohan wouldn't be able to show his true power. And finally, the last character whose reaction is shown is Goku's, who is smiling confidently because he knew Gohan always had it in him. So the reactions of these characters to Gohan's transformation are pretty much the same in the anime and manga. But there is one tiny difference in how the manga and anime portray one particular character's emotion. And that character is Gohan himself. In the manga, you immediately see that Gohan is full of anger, while in the anime you see that Gohan is still calm for a brief moment and even continues crying. This is a little subtle change, but it definitely makes an impact on the viewer. I think this artistic liberty is one of the few changes from manga to anime, in which case I prefer the anime adaptation. It makes Gohan feel more sympathetic, almost like he was pushed to the extreme, and now he has no choice but to destroy Cell and its Cell Juniors. But while I think it looks better and feels better for the character, perhaps what Toriyama tried to convey in his beautiful drawn panel is the decay of Gohan's pacifist stand, a Gohan that surrendered himself to the dark side. Because, as Gohan himself had warned Cell and the readers/viewers, not even Gohan himself knew how to summon nor control the sleeping powers inside of him. Cell had awoken the beast, and he will pay a hefty price for it. The display of violence Gohan shows is frightening. Toriyama emphasized how Gohan had gone full berserker. This, in my opinion, could be an analogy of the phrase absolute power corrupts absolutely, because once Gohan went Super Saiyan 2, he abandoned his innocence, his view that the world was better the pacifist way. Gohan was now full of bloodthirst, a thirst obviously made worse by his Saiyan lineage. And Gohan, as we all know, got overconfident and didn't finish off Cell when he should have. He wanted Cell to suffer, so we can clearly see how Gohan's personality did a full 180. This overconfidence ultimately resulted in Goku's death, and in a sense this was probably a reminder for Gohan to stay a pacifist. Perhaps he just didn't want to fight anymore, or maybe he just was afraid of not being able to control his true potential, like it happened during the Cell arc. We all know what happened to Gohan after Cell's arc, and I know a lot of fans don't like this development of Gohan stopping training, but it makes total sense in my opinion, because at the end of the day, as his father said, Gohan is not a fighter. It's a shame because it's shown through the manga that Gohan always had a hidden potential for being a fighter. Maybe Gohan would have been the most powerful being in the universe. But that didn't happen because Gohan's true potential didn't align with Gohan's personality. And that is, in my opinion, the true meaning behind Gohan's transformation. And guys and girls listening, from this point onwards, this essay/analysis will get a little psychological, and I won't just be talking about Dragon Ball anymore, but just bear with me here. I assure you that at least you will find this theory interesting. So are you still here? Okay, that's good. Let's continue. Gohan's transformation show us how a gift, in this case incredible potential for fighting, in someone who doesn't want that power, could lead to devastating consequences. I may just be overanalyzing it, as I so often do, but I think Toriyama's message was that there is people with a hidden potential. A potential that maybe they will never awaken because they don't know what they will really excel at. Toriyama himself, a godly mangaka who created not one but two manga who were beloved by generations of readers, has said in different interviews that while he liked manga and anime as a kid, he didn't have particular interest after that, and that his real interest was movies. In fact, he abandoned making manga altogether because he wanted to spend more time with his family, and now lives in a rural area in Japan. He had been created manga for 15 years straight before semi-retiring, but he had tried time and time to finish Dragon Ball before. This is pretty similar to Gohan's attitude if you think about it. It's almost as if Toriyama had self-inserted his inner struggles within Gohan. Not the pacifist struggles of Gohan, but Toriyama's struggles of lacking motivation to continue making manga, which was undoubtedly his hidden talent. A talent for which he felt no passion. If Gohan wasn't made to be a fighter, Toriyama wasn't made to be a mangaka, so to speak. And this made me think, what talent do I have that I haven't achieved? What if I have a hidden talent that I will never discover? Or as in the case of Toriyama and Gohan, I am a prodigy in something I don't enjoy, like say any kind of sports. It just occurred to me that Toriyama himself said that he preferred to make gag manga, like Dr. Slump and the early parts of Dragon Ball. It really shows how he loved making funny jokes. And in the last part of Dragon Ball, in the Buu arc, I think his editors just let him go wild with the jokes. A good friend of Toriyama, Masakazu Katsura, another famed mangaka that made legendary love comedies for Weekly Shonen Jump like Video Girl Ai and Is, also said that he loved to make superhero manga, like his first hit, Wingman. The problem is that Shonen Jump told him to make a love comedy next. His true talent was making beautiful girls and butts. Seriously, Katsura's butts are the best drawn butts you will ever see in any manga. So my question is, what would you do if, like all the examples before, you had a hidden talent for something? Like in the example of Katsura, you have always loved superhero comics since you were a kid, you are good at it, you made a successful superhero series, but then your editor just tells you that your next work in Shonen Jump should be to make a romantic comedy because horny kids in Japan love the way you draw panty shots. You have godly butt drawing skills. Your butts are just too good to be true, the best drawn butts in history. And to be fair, Katsura is better known for his love comedies rather than his superhero mangas. Sure, his superhero mangas are good, but his love comedies were godly, truly classics of Shonen Jump and manga in general. But you don't want to draw butts, you want to draw superhero comics. So, would you embrace that talent, drawing butts, or would you rather just let it go to waste? Perhaps that's the true symbolism behind Gohan's Super Saiyan 2 transformation. But hey, that's just a theory, a manga theory. Thanks for watching. Yeah, that was my best impersonation of game theorist MatPat. But who am I kidding? That probably wasn't the message Toriyama was trying to convey. Toriyama, I think, is more of a simple man with simple yet brilliant storytelling. He has stated over and over again that he made Dragon Ball's story on the go. So if I'm being honest, the chances of this being Toriyama's hidden meaning behind Gohan's transformation are slim to none. But still, it's my interpretation of it, and I just feel like sharing it with you guys and girls listening. And guys and girls listening, that's gonna be it for today's video, and hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe, give this video a share and a subscribe and a like and all that. If you enjoy my content and would like to help me, well, my Patreon should be appearing on screen right about now. I made this channel with the hopes of someday maybe getting enough traction on YouTube to be able to make a source of income out of it, so any dollar helps, any subscribe helps. You know, telling your friends about this weird analysis slash theory of mine, it really helps. So yeah, if you're still listening to this, you are awesome, and thanks for watching. Bye.